glass from Venice, Murano glass, as is this. This is candy, and this is polymer clay. What they have in common is they are all made of canes, whether it be glass or candy or polymer clay or even cookie dough. The general construction principles behind all of these and many, many more complex canes that you'll see is the same. It's the same general construction rules on how to assemble a cane, how to reduce a cane, how to slice a cane, and how to use it. So, the glass method is an ancient art, and it's one of the first things that people in polymer clay started to do was cane work. So today we're going to look at 4 very, very basic canes. They should be the first couple that anyone learns. And here they are. First one is the jelly roll, which I did 2 ways. Then we'll move on to the bullseye. We'll take a little break and come back and do a little more complex. It's a flower cane, real basic flower. And we'll do a checkerboard, which is useful for a lot of finishing up of canes, doing borders and stuff. So let's get started with the jelly roll. I'm going to just make small samples so I don't waste your time making huge canes. But basically, you can do it with multiple colors, but let's just start with using 2. Pick 2 contrasting colors so that you can see really see what's going on with the pattern. And I have chosen white and a blue. These are rolled out to the thickest setting on my pasta machine, which is number 1. I cut one into a sort of square. I'm going to put it on top of the other one. And I'm not going to cut them exactly the same. I'm going to do the top and bottom. I'm going to cut right together. But the sides that I'm going to start rolling from, I'm going to cut a little bit extra. So you can see the bottom layer is a little bit longer that way and this way. There's a good reason. It just makes it a little bit easier to seal the edges at the end, to seal the seam, and it makes it a little bit easier to start that inner roll if you leave just a little bit extra. And in fact, it's even easier if you just kind of bevel this a little bit. You can do it with your roller or you can do it by hand. Just press. I'm just using paper to get a smoother edge, but I'm actually pressing it down so it's not as harsh of an edge. It's a little bit tapered is the word I'm looking for. All right. That's your basic easy construction. Now we're going to roll it up like a jelly roll, because that's what it's called. If you've ever made a jelly roll cake, if you've ever eaten ho-hos, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to start by pulling this edge up. You don't want an air gap in there. And you can see it's just a little bit easier because I left that little bit of extra clay. So you can see I've got a nice smooth gap. There's no gap there, a nice smooth bind there. And then I'm going to slowly just start to pull it and roll it. It takes you got to get used to starting it. It's not always pretty. You want to push your ends in. And just once it gets started, it'll just really easily roll up. And you want to take the time to make sure your ends are going in there. Keep on rolling. Now you can do this obviously much, much bigger. You can do it with multiple colors. Now I've got to the end, and remember I left that little bit of white there. And so that I can just pull right over and match up the seams so we have white on white. You don't really want to end with the blue smearing into the white. And take a second to smooth that edge. Use a little roller. Smooth it a little bit more. Now, with all canes, we're gonna end up reducing them. And no matter what, we'll talk about reducing in a minute, but no matter what clay you're using, what brand of clay, whether it's firm or soft, you do want to let your cane rest before you reduce it. So we will put that aside.